The price to enter the metaverse seems to be vertigo. You lose many of the references your body uses in real life to determine what's up and down, and you also lose your cookies.
This is BOESCHLIT. Good morning, I'm Kurt Balderdash, and this is BOESCHLIT, your bi-weekly business and technology podcast that delivers coast-to-coast faster and for less than the price of a first-class stamp. But first, here's what's stuffing our turkey today. What's left of General Electric is splitting into 3 companies. The new entities will be in healthcare, aviation, and energy. Over the past decade, the conglomerate has been spinning off companies like a potential presidential candidate sheds pounds. The conglomerate model was all the rage in the 1960s when management was seen as a group of interchangeable people that could manage anything without regard to deep market knowledge. It was seen as a way to diversify risk among several sectors, but since the 2008 financial crisis, that risk mitigation strategy is now seen as a risk multiplier, especially if you're too fat and slow to adjust to market changes. On a similar note, Johnson & Johnson is also splitting up. In their case, they are splitting into 2 companies, one for consumer goods and the other for pharmaceuticals. The new companies will be named Johnson and Johnson. Zillow is expected to lose $500 million on the closing down of their iBuyer program. The program bought houses, did limited renovations, then flipped them. Unfortunately for Zillow, they were losing too much money to continue the plan because their algorithm couldn't accurately predict the pricing necessary to make a profit. Oops. As part of unwinding iBuyer, Zillow sold 2,000 homes to New York investment firm Pretium, which already owns 70,000 homes across the nation that it rents out. That market, buying and renting, is booming. Meanwhile, Zillow is laying off 25% of its workforce. It begs the question, why couldn't Zillow have pivoted and made money by converting their iBuyer business into buying and renting, instead of buying and dumping with their hair on fire? Electric vehicle maker Rivian held their IPO on NASDAQ last week, with shares opening at $78, valuing the company at $67 billion. But after-hours trading has skyrocketed the market cap to about $130 billion, dwarfing General Motors' $85 billion and Ford's $77 billion, despite not having sold a single vehicle yet. The manufacturer will soon be releasing a pickup truck and an SUV, both selling for about $70,000, with a range of only 300 miles. Among the many issues confronting electric vehicles are range anxiety, lack of a recharging infrastructure, and the high cost. Perhaps Rivian should next develop electric tow trucks. A proposed bill in Congress would allow users of social media platforms to opt out of algorithms designed to target them with content based upon their personal data. The Filter Bubble Transparency Act would prevent social media platforms from using opaque algorithms to control what content users see without first notifying them and gaining their unfounded trust and consent. The bill has exceptions for entities like smaller tech companies, research groups, and political operatives paid through third parties like law firms.
BOESCHLIT Technology News. Could the future way to heat our homes be not with electricity or fossil fuels, but with nuclear steam? With BOESCHLIT Technology News, I'm Peter Dongle. A small remote town in Russia is using steam to heat its homes in the brutal Siberian winter. But the steam is not geothermal, it's nuclear. Instead of venting excess heat in a nuclear power plant through tall cooling towers, the steam is piped throughout the town and used to warm the houses. The reactor itself is floating on a barge moored in the Arctic Ocean. The technique is called direct nuclear heating, and has been successfully deployed in Russia and Sweden. I asked nuclear policy analyst Tad McGurk about the prospects for direct nuclear heating in America.
Well, it depends upon many factors, including what the Russians' plan is for this technology, especially safety.
Plan?
Russians don't take a dump, son, without a plan.
Companies in the US are looking into this technology and hope to have a plan by next October.
Travel with PERSPICUTCHEON FOGG, international travel reporter.
Today I'm in sunny Bariloche, Argentina, and attending the Spring Flower Festival. Known as the Switzerland of Argentina, Bariloche is nestled in the mountains surrounded by infinite colors of different flowering plants. Excuse me. Every year, Bariloche hosts a multitude of flower displays all over the city. Many displays feature a bright purple-blue-colored tree called the jacaranda, or the yellow and red blooms of Darwin's slipper, or the white flowers of the peachy romero. And what garden would be complete without the famous evergreen shrub yerba mate, which is used to make the national drink mate, an herbal drink that tastes like grass and smells like a hamster cage. Oh, excuse me. October and November are the best months for visiting Argentina for flowers. It's a local secret that, a special anti-allergy herbal medicine can be made from the flowers of the... Oh no!
Uh-oh. Sounds like we lost PERSPICUTCHEON again. Perhaps we can get him a handkerchief or duct tape or something. Yeah.
If it's big, wobbly, and funny, it's gotta be complete bullshit.
The Metaverse. What is it, and why should anyone care in real life? Because I didn't, we sent BOESCHLIT science and technology reporter Anita Martini to find out. Anita, tell me how your travels in the Metaverse went.
Once I stopped throwing up, it was almost interesting. The price to enter the Metaverse seems to be vertigo. You lose many of the references your body uses in real life to determine what's up and down, and you also lose your cookies. Once I adjusted, I was able to explore various spaces like virtual stores, art galleries, and conference rooms.
Conference rooms?
Yes. I participated in a meeting with several colleagues including Peter Dongle who dropped by.
Did it go well?
Honestly, the environment was so bizarre we spent almost all our time exploring the room and little time actually discussing anything of importance. I was able to float around the room and look out the window at a virtual landscape on Mars. Peter was busy changing his avatar from dinosaurs to trees to famous TV stars from Magnum PI.
What did you discuss in your meeting?
Seriously, I don't remember. It was as if the environment conspired to distract us from concentration, like it was designed to addle our minds into the awareness of an infant. Everything was a bright, shiny object. Eventually, we decided to conclude the meeting, which I believe was the only real meeting action we performed. When I left, the outdoors showed a vast jungle, and Peter looked like an 8-foot-tall chicken.
It doesn't appear that meetings are a very good use case at the moment.
Perhaps not. Later, I went to an art gallery. All of the pieces were NFT art, which means they are purchasable or rentable, and are managed by a blockchain like cryptocurrencies, but since they are NFTs, they are unique.
What kind of art did you see?
I saw an 8-bit low-resolution image of a cat breaking wind in the form of a rainbow.
How much was that?
$8 million.
Dollars?
Yes. Then I saw a cartoon-like image of a chimpanzee. I think that was going for only a few tens of thousands of dollars.
A cartoon image?
Indeed. Then I found myself in a part of the gallery that had, more revealing images.
Of course. It's the internet.
I believe the important thing to know here is that the art pieces are all NFTs. It's a quickly evolving industry.
Cartoons, monkeys, and porn are considered evolving?
As a market, yes. Though, presently, it's difficult to see the actual art as anything more developed than the efforts of indigent graffiti artists beneath highway overpasses.
What did you do next?
I went shopping. I browsed through clothing stores with branded items from companies like Nike.
Virtual clothing for your avatar.
Exactly. One can buy all sorts of clothing, including hats, coats, and even new skin.
Skin?
Yes, if you want to look more tan, or even alien. Green skin with scales is popular. And, you can get totally different avatars and appear as just about anything.
Like a 8-foot-tall chicken.
Yeah, I understand that Peter bought an avatar that turned him into a tall office plant. He was able to attend a meeting by sitting in the corner of a virtual conference room.
Did he learn anything newsworthy?
Initially, it looked promising. There was a sales chart and product sketches for a new electric bicycle. However, the meeting quickly devolved into a room of Klingons smashing the furniture.
Any parting thoughts?
Yes. Don't put me here ever again.
Thank you, Anita Martini. And finally, this past summer, a woman in Atlanta went into an emergency room of a hospital with a head injury. She waited for 7 hours, was never seen by a doctor, left, and weeks later was charged $700. It was apparently a facility fee just for visiting the ER. The practice is called provider-based billing, which allows hospitals to charge separately for the facility as well as services by the physicians. It's been estimated that this practice allows hospitals to receive up to $30,000 per physician in additional fees every year. So that's why hospitals get all that information from you before they do anything, so they can bill you just for walking through the door. HMOs and similar organizations negotiate rates from healthcare providers, but there's no one to negotiate on behalf of those who do not have an HMO. And that should make everyone sick.
That's all for now. Join us again next time. Different day, same BOESCHLIT.